Today's Woman is brought to you by
Gino, Pomo Tomato Mix.
Hello, and a very good evening, my dear viewers, and thank you for tuning into the Today's Woman show. My name is Audrey, and it truly is an honor to be the bearer of yet another inspiring story from a woman in our society who is building, innovating, and transforming in her field. First things first, a huge shout out of gratitude to our sponsors, Gino Tomato Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Jollof Mix, Gino Truly Cares, and So Aesthetics. So you, so beautiful. Thanks, guys. Now, my 2 cents this evening is on the topic, the power of ideas, turning passion projects into thriving businesses. Now, every great business begins as a spark. An idea is born from curiosity, frustration, or pure love for something. But passion alone isn't enough. It's the courage to act on that passion that turns ideas into impact. The true power of an idea lies in its execution and in the discipline to plan, the humility to learn, and the resilience to keep going when enthusiasm fades. And it does fade. When passion meets purpose and creativity is backed by strategy, what begins as a side project can become a sustainable enterprise. It's not about luck or perfect timing. It's about persistence, adaptation, and belief. The journey from dream to business is proof that the ideas we nurture can, in time, nurture us back. Today's episode is a little different. I will tell you why after the break. Welcome back. The Today's Woman show is brought to you by Gino Tomato Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Jollof Mix, and So Aesthetics. Now, today's episode is extra special, and you'll see why later on. But first, I'm very thrilled to sit with my next guest because there are many parallels in our lives. A restaurateur just like me, her name is synonymous with tea culture, cafe vibes, and culinary creativity in Accra. Ladies and gentlemen, your Today's Woman of the Day. Please watch.
Dedo Azu is a Ghanaian entrepreneur and hospitality visionary, best known as the co-founder of Tea Bar Ghana, a trendy cafe and tea bar in Osu, Accra that blends chill vibes, great iced teas, and inviting food menus. After spending time abroad, Dedo returned to Ghana with a passion for food, design, and social spaces, and Tea Bar is her expression of that. The cafe is known for its iced tea varieties, both alcohol-free and tipsy versions, eclectic decor, chill ambience, local food offerings like slow-cooked lamb and coconut rice, and a comfortable hangout atmosphere. Reviews describe Tea Bar as a place where people feel at home. The ambience is warm, stylish, and welcoming. It's become a favorite for both casual meals and evening hangs. Beyond just Tea Bar, Dedo is recognized as someone who brought her international exposure back to Ghana, contributing to the local lifestyle and hospitality scene in meaningful ways. She's a figure of inspiration for those who want to build spaces that are aesthetically pleasing, culturally resonant, and socially vibrant.
Let's welcome Dedo to the show. Hey, girl. Oh, so nice to have you here.
So nice to be here.
Come, sit with me. Today we're having our chat in front of the cameras.
All right.
Yeah.
This long overdue chat.
Long overdue chat.
Yes.
Relax, chill.
I need to relax.
Get away
I'm very nervous when I see
please.
cameras.
Oh,
but
no,
your
come on.
face gives me peace.
Please, it must.
Yeah.
This is it. But lovely to see you again.
Lovely to see you.
It's been a while since we chatted, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, things were going that way.
Yeah.
And now they're coming back up again.
The
and
last
I'm so
time I was
lovely.
in your office,
yes.
I was crying.
You were teary. I mean, when I tell people food business is not easy, you know. So I watch everybody, this person has come up, they've done it, this person's doing it. And then you're saying, you guys don't know what you're in for.
I know. I didn't.
you know. But that's another part of the conversation. We need to find out how it all started. I mean, you have this very, very prominent accent, which means that you spent a lot of your formative years out of this country.
Some of it.
Some of it.
Some of it.
What was it like? Did you grow up here? Were you born in the diaspora? What was it?
Yes, I wasn't born in Ghana.
Okay.
But I lived in Ghana from the age of 2, 3 until I turned 18.
Oh.
And then when I turned 18, my friends were leaving. Everybody was going to the UK, to America for school. So I said, well, I need to go too. I mean, you know, when you're a teenager, you have to go with a pack. So I decided to leave and go to Canada. So like...
But did you have family living in Canada?
Nope.
Why Canada?
I had a cousin
Okay.
who lived in Canada. And he said, you know, you should come to where I am. I didn't know anything about where I was going. And I ended up
Blind
in
faith.
one of the coldest parts, Alberta.
Oh my goodness.
Calgary, Alberta.
That's where you ended up.
That's where I ended up. And for every day for maybe 7 years, I kept thinking, what am I doing here? What am I doing here?
Didn't your parents object to you leaving?
They did, actually. Not my mom. My mom felt like it was necessary that I go and experience life and all of that, but my dad had a hard time with it. But I left anyway. I said, you know, I need to go and figure this out for myself. And I had 6 other siblings, so I was like,
Are you the
why
oldest?
not? I am the oldest.
Oh, I can't believe it.
I am the oldest.
You're older than Lloyd?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm older than all 6 of them.
No way,
You need to
Dedo.
give me more respect.
I'm giving it to you now.
Yeah.
I'm giving you, okay, so being the oldest, then I can understand. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you had to set the
Exactly.
tone for everybody
I think
else.
I think
And
I
you
did. So I left for 10 years, 10, 11 years, and then I
school.
came back
So-
to school like every other African child,
Yeah.
working through school, schooling through work, you know, just trying to figure life out and everything. So when I turned 30 something,
Don't say it too much.
No, I'm not.
Too loudly.
I'm not. So I decided to come back home. And I always knew that I wanted to be back in Ghana. I wasn't sure what I was going to do here, but I just felt like the life over there wasn't mine.
What did you study?
I studied art. I studied business. I did a bunch of stuff, never really finding my place. You know, so recently I was having a chat with my sister and I said, you know, if I could go back to school, I'll go and study food properly the way I wanted to. But you know, when you're in your teens and early 20s, you can't figure it out, a bit of this, a bit of that. But I still had no food in, I just knew I liked to cook and I like drinks and I like people. So I was like, well.
You know, when I said, as introducing you, when I said we have a lot of parallels in our life, it's not only because you're in the food business, but my life took exactly the same sort of
Wow.
turn. I'm starting a business with absolutely no experience or no knowledge in the field.
Yeah.
But what I tell people is that your best teacher is life, really.
Yeah.
And I don't think what you are, the passion you brought into your business, you could have studied that in school.
No.
Yes, schooling may have helped you structure your business better, but you study business.
Yeah.
Your
Or
place
maybe
is at-
not. Or maybe not.
Or maybe
you know
not.
how artists are great artists until
Which is
they
what
go,
I was just
they
getting
go
into.
into school and
Yes.
then they mess everything up because there are all these rules. But when you come up with no rules, make up your own rules. Does it work? If it doesn't, you re-rule yourself. That's, well,
What do you think the greatest lesson your journey has taught you so far?
persistence. Gotta keep going.
How many years have you been doing this now?
10 years.
You're a baby, darling.
I am a baby.
You are a baby.
Oh my
but,
gosh.
But still, you need a huge clap on the back. But 10 years is a long time in the food business.
It's been a long time.
But let's talk about your journey with T-Bar, because you're more known for T-Bar.
Right.
Bar and Bean came later, and then
Yeah.
Agushi,
Right.
you know,
Right.
towards the end of that journey.
Right.
Now, why tea and why T-Bar? I know the story because I watched a video on you on YouTube about the tea.
I remember the story.
Because I was like, what is tea? When I used to hear T-Bar before I saw your sign, I thought it was a T-bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's T-bar,
Yeah.
isn't it? Is
Yeah.
it tea? But tell us a bit,
Okay.
why tea and bar? How it all came about?
Bar is leaf in Ghana.
Yes.
It was my brother who named it tea bar because
Okay.
we were sitting out brainstorming. It is a tea bar. But we're just sitting down thinking, so it should be something, and they just, I just call it tea bar, and I was like, wait a minute, light bulb. But why tea? I love tea.
Sure.
I love tea of all types, fruits infusions,
Tea,
black
Darjeeling.
teas, all that
Oh my
stuff.
God.
But I lean more towards the fruit infusions.
Okay.
And over the years, I've gone towards that because that's what people actually can relate to and all of that. But I started it because when I moved to Ghana, I vowed to myself that anything that I wanted to feel or I wanted to see or I wanted to have that wasn't in Ghana and I could do, I would. I didn't know how, I didn't know what. But one time, a friend had a festival and he said, oh, do you want to bring it? I was designing wooden sunglasses then. He says, do you want to bring sunglasses? And they were really cool sunglasses, these cut-eye shaped.
Oh,
ones.
wow.
But, nobody really spends that much money at a festival. They spend money on food and snacks. So I used to go to a lot of festivals. So I said, I don't know. I had a cup of tea in my hand. And I said, I don't know. I'll just come make tea. And he's like, whatever, just whatever you want to bring, just come and do something.
So this is cold tea?
Cold tea.
Iced teas?
Strictly cold tea.
Okay, cold teas.
So, I spent 2 days brewing a bunch of teas. So we had about 15, 20 gallons. And in every gallon, you could get at least 20 glasses of tea. No expectations, no hopes, no nothing. I was like, well, let's try. I mean, it's not that expensive to make. So we made it into the festival. First half hour, people would just walk past the kiosk, look at it, go and like, tea. Wait, Milo tea and I said, wait, they tea. So there were a few questions, and then I guess their curiosity got the better part of them, so they started trying it, and then we completely sold out. I went home.
20 gallons were sold.
20 gallons. I went home, made another 10 gallons, sold out. I was like, wait a minute, what's happening?
And that was you.
That was it.
You saw the opportunity.
Yeah.
But it's
absolutely.
a funny thing because we call everything tea. Every hot drink is tea for us.
Yeah.
And I think the culture here is more of the hot drink,
Right.
hot beverages than it is.
Right.
Do you think that you changed a bit of the culture
I think
with
so.
what you're doing now?
I think so, because I made tea less intimidating. Usually you're not sure if, okay, well, it's tea, it's hot tea. I don't want a hot drink on a hot day. Like, I kind of thought
it's
about
hot.
our environment. Exactly, we live in a hot country, so
Yeah.
I'm not really gonna push hot teas. I mean, I was in love with tea, but not that in love to say, oh, it needs to be a Darjeeling, it needs to be essential, it needs to be this. No, I just said, look, what do we like over here? What do I like to drink when I go to Starbucks? I'll get a strawberry tea. They'll put some ice in it, and I'll sit there and drink it, and I'll keep looking at the glass. I'm like, oh, this is really good. Oh, this is really good. So, yeah, I decided, why not? And then the opportunity came, and I just took it.
And then you added food to the side because of course you like to food.
I love
cook.
food.
Oh, your
Food-
pork.
food-
You used to do this.
Food is my
fantastic
first
pork.
love.
Well, then again, anybody in the food business has to be a foodie
Yeah,
to have one.
absolutely.
Anyway. So, T-Bar was going.
So
nice.
T-Bar started, and I actually, it was all by accident, but I feel like I was a bit in tune to what, I
People were
listened to the calling, and I didn't even know it was a calling because I had to help a friend out whose restaurant was going down. I wasn't getting paid or anything, but I'd wake up and I'd just go and help out as much as I could. We tried to go into business together. It failed miserably. I got kicked out, literally. So I said, well, it's only been 6 months, 6 weeks, actually. Yeah, 6 weeks.
Wow.
And I had told all my friends about this new tea bar that I had started. So it was a bit embarrassing. I was like, okay, I need to find a new way out of this.
Oh, so you were doing the tea somewhere else?
Yeah, somewhere else. In Usu, somewhere else with a partner.
Okay.
Or would be a partner.
Okay.
And then, she kicked me out. And I was like, okay, well, we still have to keep going because I can't tell my friends that I've been
It's
kicked
not happening
out.
anymore.
And then, so I just started that and I said, well, you're going to have tea, a cold tea. You might as well eat something. And then
And so
it
you were
just
cooking
started.
initially yourself?
Yes, absolutely.
Everything?
Everything. And I loved every minute of it.
Are you serious?
Until it got to a point where I was like, okay, I can't do this by myself. I just can't do this by myself.
And then so currently you have how many staff?
I have about 35.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
About
but you went from
35.
T-Bar and then Bar and Bean
Okay.
sprung out of that, didn't it?
Right.
So
this
the
is what
transition.
happened.
Okay.
T-Bar was it was a tiny space.
It was. Yes.
Tiny. It literally could see maybe 20 people.
Okay.
But it made such an impact worldwide. I was just telling someone I was in China of all places, and then somebody tapped my shoulder and said, "Hey, Madam T-Bar," and I was like, "Okay, this is in China." So I said, this is too much. So I had to come back and close. When I closed, I said, you know, guys, we're going to be back in 6 weeks. That picture's still up on our Instagram. I said, give us 2 months. We're moving to a place in the morning, blah, blah, blah. And then it just never worked out.
I remember that.
It just never worked out.
I remember that.
So, you know, Bar and Bean came about right then. I said, wait, I don't have enough money to start the kind of restaurant that I want to start. Let's start this in the meantime, make it a side hustle. Of course.
So what
no
was
experience.
Bar and Bean
It was a
meant to be?
cafe.
It was
to
a
feed
cafe.
people inside of the
Embassy Gardens.
Clifton Homes
All the
residency.
Clifton,
two of them.
Two of them. Okay.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Okay.
So I did that for about 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt lost most of the time because I feel like I am a big personality. I like people. I like to hug people. I like to talk to people. So I just felt a bit stifled. Nothing to do with anybody, but it didn't feel like it was in line with what I
Your
believed
spirit wanted.
my spirit wanted. So after 5 years, you know, we decided to part ways.
Okay.
And I was done by then because I had taken a beating from especially my staff.
I think that's when we had the conversation.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, you had also done Agushi.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you've got Bar and Bean and it's beating you and then you still walk into
You know
Agushi.
what? Passion always wins.
It
Passion
does.
always wins.
It
And
does.
I just needed to find an outlet. I was like, okay, this is not satisfying. It's lucrative, it's good business and all, but I just felt like I was just dying slowly. So I said, well, let's start Agushi. But again, Agushi was the size of a peanut. Tiny.
Well, you did what you could manage.
I did. So, when I came into your office, I was just done.
I remember that day.
I was actually done with work. But of course, I didn't have enough money to
Decide
just
to retire.
go sit at a beach.
On the beach somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was just done with it. And then, a friend said, oh, I found a space. Let's do something, And I said, well, I'm kind of done with this. And I like gin. So he says, oh, maybe we could create a gin bar where you could just sit and, and just, I don't know. When I hear food and drinks, so I looked at the space and I was like, wait, okay. And then I went home, woke up and I was like, this is it. This is what I have been waiting for.
So how long was that break?
4 months.
But what did you do during that 4 months? Obviously, you didn't. If you were planning to open another
traveled.
spot, thank
I
God.
wasn't
'Cause
planning
you
anything.
needed that.
Oh, I needed to travel.
You needed
I found
that.
a therapist.
Yes.
I needed to talk to
Yes,
somebody
you
because
needed it.
nobody understood
Yeah.
what was happening. So,
I understood your frustration.
yes.
Because obviously I live with it every day.
Right.
But
Right.
we all have different strengths. We all have, different outlets. If you don't have the right outlets to really sort of let it
Yeah.
all go, it really bottles up and becomes even such a monster in your mind. And I know that maybe you didn't have the right supports, so you had to close it down. I have the right supports.
Yeah.
So even though I turn up every day, I was telling somebody yesterday that I literally, for about 2 years, I was present at work, but not working.
You're my role model.
Yes. I was
You
present
really
at
are.
work, but I wasn't working, But I just needed that time to really sort of put everything together in my brain and then step back into it. And funny you should say talk about retiring, the thought of retiring. My son asked me, he says, so Mommy, when are you going to retire? And I looked at him and I said to him, me, retire. Your grandma worked till she was 87, literally.
Yeah.
I've got a good how many years to go on that.
You've got
But
a good
how-
forever to go, actually.
by the grace of God.
Yeah.
How has the renaissance of T-Bar been?
It's hard to describe, actually. It's hard to describe because it was meant to, when you feel like you were born to do something? I feel like that. Like every day people come in and it's just the joy It's surprising. Like, it's like, so, and I keep asking myself and them, what would have happened if I had never opened? It's almost like somebody hit pause on a stereo and then we hit start and we picked up right when we left off.
So it's like you never went anywhere.
It's like I never went anywhere, but I see how people have grown, the joy when they come, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you came back and all of that. So I just feel like it would have been a shame and a waste if I
you had
hadn't, just stopped. And I was really ready to stop it. But for some reason, every time I'd step out of my house, I would find at least one person who would say, Dedo, so you're really not going to open again? At the grocery store, at the airport. So I'm like, how many of these people actually came to T-Bar?
You have a large personality.
It's crazy.
And when I introduced you as having this whole tea culture and the vibes, that's who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think you're artist. I've been to the new space. My kids
You have to.
And I have
Do
to.
they love
We're
it?
busy.
Do
They love it.
Yeah.
They love it. And we're very artistic in our home. So even the approaches to it, somebody's going to say, how did somebody come and find this gem in this rubble, so to speak? But when you enter, and then apparently the surprise of this, at the space, at how beautiful the space is, people like, rustic things like that. I think we're a bit tired of all the clean, kind of very.
And I feel like what people like is the fact that you can create something
out of nothing. Literally,
that's the real reason they love it so much. They're like, how did you do this out of that? Or, how? But, I feel like we all have an eye for something. It could be clothes, it could be food, it could be something. But we don't pay attention and we take it for granted. I was just telling a friend, interior design is to me, it's so easy because I start with one piece. I tell myself, is this the chair that I have? This is the chair. And then I work around it. But we doubt it. Somebody says, oh, but the chair's red. But what are people going to think about a red chair? But do you like the red chair? Do you believe in the red chair? Leave it there and then build around it.
But that's why I was saying to you earlier that I felt like you did a bit of art when you were in school. You did business when you were in school.
Definitely.
But those things have to count for something in running your business because, trust me, they do count for something.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we face challenges in our industry.
Right. A lot.
Too many. Too many challenges. If you are not a strong woman, you can never, or a man for that matter, you can never go into the F&B space.
Never. Never.
Never. You can't go into the F&B space. It's not, it's not child's play, literally. It's not.
But you know what's funny? Sometimes when I look at it from the back, I go in the back and I look at it and it seems like everything is peaceful. It seems like all the days are the same. It's so peaceful. People come in, they drink, they laugh, they go home and stuff. And I'm like, there is a storm right behind that door.
Look, I said 3-4 weeks ago, I wanted to take stock. And I actually entered my cold room at -18 degrees.
Ooh,
I
fancy.
turned it off, but I was there for 6 hours, counting things like pieces of meat. And I came out there, my toes, my feet were frozen. And the next day I was talking to somebody, I was telling them about the experience, and they said to me, I said, well, people come and all they see is the glam. They don't know what happens in the back. And so you've got to respect people, regardless. Nobody's being propped by anybody. Everybody's working hard. If you are who you are today, it's because of the work you put in, of course, and the grace of God. And for me, when I sit in my kitchen, which is where you find me most of the time, just watching people go and come, it gives me a lot of gratitude in my heart. And I think that makes it all the better, all the worthwhile. You know what I mean? And that is what I can understand when you see people coming in and they're drinking and they're happy and they're having their combos and stuff like that.
It brings me the greatest joy.
That's why you do it.
It really does.
That's why you do it.
And I said to myself, the day that I wake up and I say to myself, I don't want to do this anymore, I would really mean it, because it doesn't matter what kind of hellish day I had the day before, I wake up and I just want to do it again and again and again, day after day.
You have
7 days a week.
You get up and you're open 7 days?
No, for 6. But the one day, these days, the one day, you know what? Life is getting easier.
Okay. I'm
It
happy
is.
to hear that.
Be happy because
I'm so happy
it's
to
been
hear that.
turbulent for the last 9.5 years.
Yes.
Finally, I feel like, of course, the challenges are still there,
they're
but
there.
there's a bit of a balance. People are doing what they're supposed to do. It's running the way it's supposed to run. So I get to sit and enjoy people again and all of that, because it got to a point where I hated it. But just, I feel like there is a nice glide after the storm.
And it's meant to be. After the storm comes
Oh,
the
yeah. So it's a lot better.
Oh,
I love
thank
it.
God for that.
Oh,
I'm really
yes.
happy.
Because the
But-
last time you saw me, I was in rough shape.
I mean, I was so worried. I was so concerned.
Yeah.
We're
I just
talking
wanted to
therapists
say,
and all, you
Yeah,
know.
oh, I found a good therapist, and, I talk to her a lot, and, she'll... So
You should start mentoring people, using your experiences to encourage, because obviously with every generation, there's a next after it.
Yeah.
So T-Bar is there.
Yeah.
Young girls who want to enter into the food space, they can come sit with you, and as you sat with me.
I wish they would.
Yes, so that we can help people. That's what you give back. That's how you give back. That's what you do. It's fulfilling as well. But what are the challenges that you face? We've spoken about them, but generally in the food space, what do you reckon is the biggest challenge?
Human resource.
Human resource. What can one do about it? Is the question I ask all the time.
I feel like the problems need to be tackled from when people are toddlers, maybe.
Cultural. It's a cultural problem.
Integrity. Your yes is your yes, your no is your no. Don't take things that don't belong to you. Don't lie. Just do what you're supposed to do. So I don't know if we can fix it at this point. I feel like all of this needs to be wiped out, and we need to start with the people who are 2 years old in this country.
But
so that
are
there
you
is some
forgetting
kind
that the 2 years are old are being raised by the very people that you want to
Oh
remove from
gosh,
the
it's never going to
system?
end then. Oh my
Yeah.
Lord.
It's a vicious cycle.
Will it
It's
ever
a
get
vicious
better?
cycle. I think that people, I always say that you're a government in itself. So you would have to set the tone for what you tolerate and what you don't tolerate in your establishment. Unfortunately, people don't like to be treated as people, especially in our society. When you're nice to somebody, they almost think you're stupid.
That has been the most heartbreaking part of all of this.
Because you're a people person.
Yeah.
For me as well.
That has been.
Liking people and them not knowing their boundaries.
Yeah.
Just wanting to treat
Taking
people,
advantage.
taking advantage of the fact that, oh,
Yeah.
there she is, she's a nice person.
Yeah.
Oh, her bark is worse than her bite, so
Yeah.
guys, go ahead and do it. But there's a time when you wake up, and when it becomes too much for you to bear, when it's actually harming you in terms of your own sanity, you've got to take the bull by the horns and do what you have to do. So in our industry, unfortunately, it means us putting in more stringent controls for ourselves. It means us putting stronger KPIs for our staff members.
And strong boundaries.
And boundaries. And boundaries.
I'm still learning that, I got a lot of feedback when I finished all of this, and I said, what has been one of the things that you guys hated the most? Oh, you've made everybody cry. I said, him, he's cried. Him, everybody's cried. And I said, hey, when did I become a monster? Why
That's
is
it.
When? So I tried to kind of tone it down. And even yesterday, I had a conversation with my manager, and I said, it's almost like people are forcing the beast back. I feel like I'm in a zen. I'm like, oh, he stole once or twice. You know what? Let me have a good talk with him as a human being. Let's sit in my office, talk about it and all of that. But it's like...
It's almost coming. I mean, I'm for it's, and when I say and keep saying that we're very similar, is that the language sometimes that comes out is not very nice because...
But necessary?
because they pushed you literally to your limit. But I think that I'm also trying now, I want to try to address the issue calmer. Basically call them, like you said, talk to them. I think sometimes when you do that, it may evoke a better sentiment.
Can I say something? It hasn't worked so far.
It has, or
It has not worked. It hasn't worked. It has not worked. But I think, you know, it's not even it's a guy who came in yesterday who worked with me. He came in, he hadn't worked before, came from Nigeria, and he says, oh, I'd like employment. So I hired him, and he worked with me for a year, and then he decided to leave. So yesterday he came by and he's like, oh, I like the new space. And he says, you know, I just want to say thank you so much. He's been saying that, but, you know, and I said, why? He says, because I'm just realizing that everything that you were saying when you were in the kitchen all the time, you know, when you work and you do it well, when you step out of here, you'll never be hungry. He says, but since I left, I have never been hungry, because it's like everything that you were saying, when I sit, it just pops up in my head. And so he went for a job interview. They needed a kitchen head. And he was with 22 people.
And he got
he cooked the food that I taught him how to cook, and he got the job out of 22 people who were actual chefs and stuff. And I remember when I was teaching him the difference between basil, parsley, and mint, and coriander, and they just couldn't get it. And I was like, just know it, because you'll know. He says, listen, every time I take herbs, I laugh because this is it. And now he started his own food business, and he came to have a little chat. But that's beautiful. That warmed my heart.
That is beautiful.
But I've worked with hundreds. Hundreds. There's one.
I'm laughing because these days people don't want to work. They don't want to work hard. They don't like hard work, literally. You can't, people claim they're chefs, they can't cook. Yes. A friend of mine says he has a restaurant, and he's a young friend of mine has a restaurant. He said he asked his chef to make the sandwich on baguette. And the guy was like, what is baguette? And he's a chef.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. He says, Auntie, he didn't know what baguette was, and he's a chef. So we have a lot of things to do with the industry, but you know, you start one day at a time. We take it. So now T-Bar is back. What's happening? Is Bar and Bean or Bar and Bean and Agushi going to be resurrected as well?
Never. Never,
with
ever
the force with which you say it.
You know, actually, you said something. You said, you know, I don't know how you'd go from here to here, because it was, I would literally just rush. Okay, this is going down, I go to save it. And then as I'm saving this goes down and I save it. And you said, you know what? In this country, the only way you're going to survive is if you build and you build up.
You don't go this way.
You don't go this way. You said that. Yeah. And you know, I just thought about it for years. Actually, it's been, I don't know if you remember when you said it.
I know.
Okay.
I tell people all the time.
So, you know, when I closed all this and I started T-Bar, I looked down and I looked up and I said, you know what? If I can only grow up, there's a rooftop right there. It wasn't even a rooftop. It was just the roof of the building. I looked and I saw a beautiful outdoor space, because it's right in the trees and everything.
That's it.
Cleaned it up, tiled it, put a balustrade on there, and then I turned it. And then there was another spot up there. I said, is that another roof to the building? So listen, I'm just going
you'll expand.
Up. That's it.
Up and not sideways.
It broke my heart.
There's only one, Dedo. It's the culture. There's only one, Dedo.
Yeah.
And yours is a passion.
Yeah.
Yours is not, yes, you're in business to make money, but I don't think money is a driving force for you.
It's not.
It's rather the satisfaction that you're giving to the customer who's coming to you, and the fulfillment that you get from seeing their satisfaction.
Absolutely.
You cannot be in 10 spaces at the same time. You know, and at the end
I
of
have
the day,
learned that.
And at the end of the day, where are you taking it all to? You know what
I just need to
make your change. Make your change. Leave a legacy. We know T-Bar exists, and T-Bar is the best that it can be. Going up. And not this way.
Absolutely.
It's different if you lived in the West.
Absolutely.
Our culture doesn't allow that at all.
No, it doesn't. I just learned that. Learned that. I had a big dream. I said, I'm going to have 10 T-bars in all these spaces. And I said, wait, I can't. If there was one superpower that I could have, I'll just split myself.
Replicate.
Split. Dedo one go there, Dedo two go there, and then let's do this. But it's not possible. Yeah, so Do the one and make an impact.
And make an impact and make the best
and
of it.
I'm
It's
in
been
love
lovely.
with it at the moment.
It's
I'm just
lovely,
in love with
lovely,
my
lovely,
job.
lovely.
Yeah.
If there was one advice you would give a budding foodie or somebody wanting to come, not a foodie, but somebody who wants to come into the food business, what would it be? Your parting words for them. Why?
First of all, why?
That's a good
And
one.
if you can give me a good enough reason, it has to be, love has to be at the forefront. Otherwise, you will not survive because, you know, there are lots of restaurants in Accra, but you still can't find food to eat. Like sometimes I'm home and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired of T-bar food. Let me just find some. And I hate the experience so much. The packaging is beautiful. The space is beautiful. It's everything but the actual plate.
Everybody's selling you mashed potatoes and grilled lamb. They all taste the same everywhere. Mashed potatoes and salmon.
You know, no, there are levels
Same.
of how bad it tastes actually. So it depends, and it's really expensive. So I would say, do you absolutely love it? Are you willing to sacrifice everything? Because it comes with a lot of sacrifice, you know. Missed family events, important things, ruined friendships, lack of relationships, all kinds of things that this comes with. But you'll have to really know that this is what you are called to do.
Okay.
And if it is, with all the challenges, you still wake up in the morning and say, let's do it again.
So,
again.
Dedo, will you say that you were called to be
Absolutely. 120%. I hate that sometimes because I can't shake myself out of it.
But that is who you are.
Yes.
It's been a lovely, lovely, lovely story and hearing it from you yourself. I mean, I had to do a bit of research. Much as I know you personally, it's always good to do a little bit of research.
Yeah.
And I watched an interview that some young lady, some from who just come back home to live, had with you when you were in Yaniba.
Okay.
And I'm like, look at Dedo at the beginning and
10
Dedo
whole
today.
years ago.
You know, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we thank God for life.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we thank Him for the renaissance, very, very important.
And all the experience in
and
between.
experience in between that have made you the better person that you are. And we're wishing you the very best.
Oh, thank you.
Higher you go.
Amen.
Go,
Amen.
Dedo,
Amen.
go. Thank you, my dear.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. So viewers, we thank Dedo for her time. Now we're going to go for a short commercial break. I did mention in the beginning that we're doing something a little different. Please stay tuned. Meet my next guest. Ariel, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, until I spoke with you, I had no knowledge that, the World Menopause Day was celebrated in October. Why do you think nobody's really talking about menopause?
I think we are not talking about menopause because there's so much misconception and myth around it. There's not enough awareness over the years. October was declared World Menopause Month and 18th October World Menopause Day since 2009.
Gosh,
and
16
since
years.
16 years, but there's not been enough conversation around it like we know as Pink October, you know. So there's been a lot of times people are focused on the Pink October, and so we haven't got, we haven't really got people who are standing up for menopause, and that's what I want to do.
Okay.
So we don't have the voice out there who are championing to push that awareness, agenda.
Okay.
So it's been in the background, and also because among society, menopause has not been embraced. So nobody wants to stand up and say, yes, I'm in my menopause. But yeah, it's something we're all going to go through, so we need to own it now.
So you're the wellness coach. Why do you focus on menopause?
So as a wellness coach, I could still help people transition the menopause stage. But going through my own transition and all that I have become this year, I realize people need, another kind of support and awareness when it comes for menopause. Also, menopause calls you to own yourself. And not many women will go on this wellness journey, but every woman will go on a menopause journey. And I've had a very challenging year this year. Even taking the course to become a menopause coach was struggle to concentrate, to learn and do my exam and everything. And I'm just imagining with me being prepared, having the awareness, knowing what I'm going through, having my self-care practices, the tools that I've used to manage myself till now, can say categorically that this year has been the most challenging year for me. Then those who don't know, who are not prepared, who are not psyching themselves, who don't have the lifestyle medicine to take them through this is going to be tough for them. And that is what inspired me to add menopause coaching as one of my
wellness thing. At what stage in a woman's life is she menopausal?
Okay, so the ages are different for everybody. It starts from 45.
Okay.
Research shows that from 45, you are heading there.
And how long does it last?
How long it lasts is also different. Some people, it can take 45 to 55, and you may feel that you are now fully menopausal in your post-menopause, but it's different. It started for me when I was 48, and I'm 3 years into my post-menopause now. But the symptoms don't stop when you even go into post-menopause. Okay. So the journey can be longer for one person and shorter for another person.
And some people apparently don't have any symptoms at all.
At all, yes. Some people don't. That's why they are called symptoms. So somebody will get the symptoms, somebody will not. You may get something different, somebody will get something different. So between 45 upwards, you have to know that when you start feeling certain things, it may not be a disease. And I think that is one of the myths people have, that menopause is a disease. It's not a disease, it's a transition. Okay. I mean, if women were giving birth at 60 years and changing diapers at 65 and 80, what can we do? So it's just the end of reproduction, where the womb stopped working. That's all it is. And so 45 going, you need to be ready that you are heading towards a journey, a transition that is called menopause.
So if you go online and you Google symptoms of menopause, some come up with 34 symptoms of menopause, some come up with 40-something symptoms of menopause. What are the things generally a woman should be looking for?
The first thing you're going to notice is your period irregularities.
Okay.
That is one sign that will be consistent with everybody. You may have it this month, in the next couple of 2 months you won't. I mean, when my first one came, I actually did a pregnancy test. I was like, am I pregnant?
At 48?
Yeah, I was like, am I pregnant? And it tested negative. I was like, okay, then that is an indication for something. So the next month it came. So one of the things that it starts with is the irregularities of your period. And then, though it varies for people, one of the other signs you will see that is consistent, which 8 out of 10 women will have, is the hot flashes. Okay. So you'll be there and then you just feel this sudden wave of heat, and then your heartbeats may actually go faster than normal, and you'll be like, what is wrong with me? And sometimes it may go more than a minute. And some people panic and think it's something, and then they run to the hospital thinking it's a disease. So mine started waking up one morning with my whole body in pain, my shoulders aching, my joints, and I didn't know what I had done. So I was like, no, this is not normal. But like you're saying, in a week, I had about 31 symptoms.
1 week?
1 week. I had sleep disturbance, I had hot flashes, I had heart palpitation, I had joint pains. I had almost everything. I panicked, I had mood swing one morning, and it was after COVID. I was home and I felt so miserable in my room. I felt so miserable. I was like, what? Okay, I said, then let me take myself out. So after a week when I went through all that, I knew something had happened, which a lot of people don't have that first quick understanding of what is going on. And that is what I want to stop for people. Because a lot of people take it as a disease and they start taking in a lot of medication when they need to adjust their lifestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a few of the adjustments one must make.
First thing first, this body is going to go through so much. And so your fitness regimen, how do you take care of your body? What exercise do you do? If you don't have any exercise you do, you may need to start immediately. because the more you are not doing it, the weaker the body becomes from all the lack of estrogen. Your joints, your bones actually start, getting weaker. You may sprain something small. I sprained my arm in a yoga session. It took almost a year and a half for it to heal.
Wow.
Because your bones are actually becoming lighter.
People don't understand. We underestimate the importance of estrogen.
Yes. But estrogen
everything
is everything
for us.
It's
as women.
everything. You can develop cardiovascular disease because your
That lack of
estrogen level
That's
is also going down.
It protects your heart. That's how
Your
people,
brain.
That's how people start getting higher
High blood pressure.
high blood pressure.
Yeah.
They get higher cholesterol levels because it has a protective.
Yeah. So if you're not exercising, like you're saying, your cardiovascular disease is bound to happen. If you're not changing your diet at that time, I used to take sugar, not so much, but now sugar is out of my diet at all. Now I do more vegetables, now I do more fruit. I do more walks, and more indoor yoga sessions. And you have to have tools and resources. I take a lot of tea, so I was happy to hear about tea bar. It's been on my wish list. I haven't been, but I'm going to go, and I'm going to go. Yeah,
yes.
It's been on my wish list. So you are going to go through so much, and these symptoms may vary over the years. Like I said, the first year for me, I had all the hot flashes, the heart palpitation. But this year, which is my 3rd year of postmenopause, I can't concentrate. I can't focus. I get tired easily thinking about something.
Are you irritable?
I have been irritable. I have been anxious. I've gone through anxiety. I'm irritated. But what happens is, if you're aware, you know how to manage it so it doesn't impact the people around you. So people in my life didn't know I was going through anything until I tell you. Because I have tools and things I do when I get up in the morning to manage myself so that I'm keeping my energy levels good, so that when I meet people, I treat them like I'm supposed to. If not, you meet people and you just snap.
So how come we haven't opened the conversation about menopause? It's it's very, very important, because like you earlier said, every single woman, if you live past, some people don't start at 45. I think mine came after 45.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's early menopause. Some people get early menopause.
I have a friend who is not even 45, but she's gone into early menopause as well.
Yeah.
But apart from that, we also need to talk about the support family members have to give to you, especially those with spouses and partners.
Yeah.
I think that the conversation has been it shouldn't be strictly about women and women having menopause, but the partners have also got to be educated, because they live in homes. Your husband thinks you're being too difficult. He doesn't know that it's menopause that you're suffering.
It affects even your sex life. So
Exactly.
they start complaining, thinking you're just holding away from sex. But it's just that it's not coming anymore. It's not there for you. You are dry just because of low estrogen. And so this campaign I'm starting, or this awareness I'm starting, we are targeting the men as well. The 18th of October, we're focusing on women awareness more, to let them know what to expect, how to prepare, the lifestyle medicines they can use. But in the coming months, we are going to be doing a lot of awareness for men as well, because a lot of marriages end during menopause.
Yes.
People lose their job during menopause. So we are targeting the corporate world as well.
Okay.
They need to understand that when you have an employee, when they hit 45 going, know that they are going to go through this cycle, and it may affect their productivity, their concentration, because it will happen to every woman, like you said. So everybody, the community, if you see a woman even walking and talking, that doesn't mean she's losing it. It could be she's frustrated, she's worried, and doesn't even know what she's going through. So there should be some empathy and understanding from everybody when you see a woman, because a woman goes through so much. And you agree?
I agree 110%. I've had my own journey, and so I think I'm over the highest point of it all. And learning it gets to a point. Our parents before us, their parents before them, their mothers before them, all went through the same thing. But it's very interesting hearing you use the word empathy. I think that's what's all about, really. We need to stop being selfish. We need to be more empathetic.
Instead of calling women, you're talking too much.
In our dealings with people, full stop. Because if you have that empathy, when you see a fellow woman going through something, you know that it's possibly her hormones playing up. You know, some people are really difficult, but you can imagine a woman who's deemed difficult, and then she enters into menopause. She's even more difficult. More difficult. But we need to bring ourselves into the space where we are empathetic towards one another. Men have empathy for your wives. Children have empathy for your mothers. You know, and whoever you come into, employers have empathy for your employees who are in the menopausal bracket. It just means that we all have to be present. You know, we have to be intentional about these things. Ariel, thank you so much, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
This month, I want to see a lot more happening in the media, in the space for menopause.
Yes, 18th October, we have an event for, called the Womb Pause Wellness Festival. We are bringing every woman above 40 to join us to create awareness.
And where is it happening?
It's happening at Bella Africana Beach House at South La Estates, right here in Accra. It's from 7 a.m. and by 12 we are done. So you can go and do. But we are going to give you all the tools you need to start preparing yourself. If you are, in your 30s and you want to learn, please join us because it's different for everybody.
Is there some registration process?
Yes, there's a registration process.
Thank you so much, Ariel.
Thanks for having us, and
thanks
for helping the awareness.
Oh, all the best for the awareness this month.
Thank you, thank you.
I hope you've all enjoyed today's show. A huge shout out and solidarity to everyone in the food space in Ghana. It's a very tough terrain. And to see the likes of Dedo rise out of the ashes and keep soaring is truly a testament that when passion meets dedication, there's no stopping you. Dedo, thank you so much for sharing your journey, your challenges, and your wisdom and vision with us today. It's inspiring to see how you transformed a niche idea into thriving brands in Accra's food and beverage landscape. So guys, whether you're aspiring to build a business, enter hospitality, or simply uplift, it's important to always serve with passion and keep making your mark. Special thanks, of course, to Ariel, Ghana's first menopause coach. I'm praying that this is the first of many conversations, at least every October. She reminds us that womanhood doesn't end at menopause. It evolves, it strengthens, and it blooms anew. I am Testament. Thank you to our sponsors, Gino Tomato Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Jollof Mix. Gino truly cares, and so aesthetics. So you, so beautiful. And to you watching, till next week, remember, you are called, you are chosen, you are today's woman.